under arrest.
There's a ton of police officers that actually think they're head and shoulders above everyone. They are not the life of the party, and educated citizens give them good examples as to why.
What's going on, bud?
Did you speak with her?
Yeah, I did.
Making lots of noise back here and clutter.
She's making noise and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, she's making a complaint against you, saying that you're saying stuff to her, racially stuff. What's that all about?
Racial.
Yeah,
Me, back here minding my own business.
right. But you could be up front, you could be back here. It doesn't matter where you're at. So what's the deal?
Did she leave or no?
No, she's still here. She's upset.
Okay, well, you know what? She left this area, so she's not a problem to me anymore.
Okay. But because she was being loud?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
What
she
was-
was just talking to her son, that's all.
Well, this kind of isn't a quiet area. This
It
is
doesn't
more...
matter. It's still a library, it doesn't matter.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
It's bizarre how this evil cop claims a library should not be a quiet area. This officer is already lying barely 10 seconds into the interaction.
What I
Grand
like
reading
now-
room. I'm letting you know. I'm telling you what...
Okay, so you're using a tone of voice on me that's really intimidating.
Okay. All right. So what are you saying?
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start recording.
Well, I'm already recording. There's a camera right there.
Okay.
What's in the can there?
None of your business, my friend.
None of my business. You're on library property. I'm asking you what's in the can.
It's something that's not. It's just. Hold on.
I've got it now.
You're already trespassing.
I'm trespassing?
Yeah, it's just trash.
The officer blatantly took the suspect's possessions without consent, a clear disregard for proper protocol. Some officers could benefit from a refresher on the very laws they're meant to uphold.
It's just trash.
That's called beer. An open container.
It's trash.
It's an open
It was
container.
wrapped up.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Now we get to give you a ticket for open container.
No, it's trash. I got you on camera, you know. You know that's trash, right?
Right.
It's just trash.
Then why are you keeping trash?
I was outside. I came in here.
Hey, it's McLaughlin. Can you send me a card to the main library?
Greenhouse outside.
All right. It's a mail under arrest for open container.
Okay, it's not an open container. I got you on camera. Come on, let's go.
I got you on camera too.
What the man said is absolutely true, but this officer just wanted to make a big deal out of nothing.
Hey.
You're not going anywhere. You're under
Whoa.
arrest.
Hold on.
You are
hold
under
on.
arrest.
Hold on. Hold on. You cannot do this.
You're under arrest.
I'm calling
Be
911.
cool. You can call 911.
Can I?
Yeah.
Hold on. Whoa.
Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands
hold on.
behind
I have
your
a right.
back. You can put the phone down, put it on speaker. Put the phone down, put it on speaker. Put the phone down, put it on speaker.
Lakewood, Ohio.
Put the phone down, and hey, it's McLaughlin. Come to step it up.
The officer's unnecessary use of force is infuriating. Despite being treated this way, the man should be praised for his calmness.
Put your hand behind your back and quit resisting.
Okay. I'm not resisting.
Quit resisting.
Excuse me, Lakewood. Yes, I am. And you know what? I'm being
Yes.
used against my rights.
Oh, come on. Relax.
Excuse me.
Relax.
Excuse me?
Put your hands behind your back.
Excuse me. I'm being arrested for something clearly
Yes.
unlawful.
Really, you had an open container and you're fighting with me.
No. Excuse me. Can you hear me? No. I'm not fighting.
Put your hands behind your
I
back.
am not resisting.
Put your hands behind your back and quit around. Okay?
Excuse me?
Put your hands behind your back, dude. The phone call is over with. Okay?
If I were in this man's shoes, I would go absolutely haywire if I was treated like this by an officer of the law. His patience is commendable, but it is really tested as the officer's actions get increasingly worse with time.
You already called the police.
Yeah, I can't talk.
Stop resisting, dude.
Excuse me?
Stop resisting. Put your hands behind your back. You'll get a ticket and I'll release you. How's that?
Okay, then can
Okay.
Am I resisting?
Yes. Put your hand behind your back.
Put my hands by my back.
Behind your back.
Are you writing me a ticket, yes or no?
Yes, you're getting a ticket.
Okay.
Get around.
I need a moment. Can I grab my phone?
Yes.
Can you hold it upright? Can you hold it upright?
You're walking out.
This is Tomazia leading job. This is exactly what happened.
The man was complying at every point, but this officer dared to say he was resisting. However, his lies won't hold up in the court of law, which will be his downfall.
Okay. You ready?
I got it.
Anything else back there?
Yeah, I gotta tell her, go get the computer. Actually, you know, hold up, I gotta go grab his can. We can take him out. This man's the thing,
Can you,
What's that? What else can we help you out with? What can we do for you to make your stay any better?
Can you pull out my phone so I can hear exactly what's happening? Oh, it's recording. Press the red button, please.
What is this for? What is that for? I'm done with you. Come on, let's go. I'm recording here. There's 2 cameras, 3 cameras. How many more do you want?
The man's been mistreated by this officer for no apparent reason. Some officers just need their egos stroked, but this one might be the worst I've seen yet.
You wanted to make a complaint about the lady who made a complaint about you. And then you want to argue with me. Could have been just as simple as like, hey, dude, just calm down. Relax. Have a nice day. But no.
And I did. I caught it on camera. I told you. I said the only thing that I was doing, if you don't mind if I record, the only thing I was doing is I told you. I said,
you were acting like an asshole, and you had an open container of beer.
All those words the officer described the man's behavior with were literally how he himself was acting. His despicable actions are disgusting to watch and make your blood boil.
And obviously you're suffering from the effects of the alcohol because you're mouthing off to the police.
So what I said.
Have a seat.
What I said was.
No, in. You're going to jail.
What I said was. What I said was.
Keep talking, but just put your feet. Okay.
In the end, this man was wrongfully arrested. However, the video made its way onto the internet, and it was the one place where these disgraceful cops were shown no mercy. If this cop made you angry, these next cops will enrage you to the highest degree possible.
You wanna get a haircut? Hey, stop. Hey, what is y'all doing? Stop grabbing on me.
On May 30th, 2023, a Karen cashier called the police on an innocent lady. The 2 officers and the cashier, all 3 of them, collectively pressured her, but they could have never guessed how she would handle the intense situation.
Get off. Can you make sure she
Can
can
you
my
please
money
get
back?
out? Yes, we'll figure it out, but just get off the counter.
Okay.
Do you have an ID with you?
These are her receipts. One showing she paid, one showing it was refunded.
Okay.
They're in here, her and whoever she was with were in here stealing drinks. I don't even want them in here. They can leave.
Okay, do you want to give her a ticket for trespassing?
Yeah, she can get trespassed.
I get
Okay.
a ticket for
Did you tell her
trespassing.
to leave?
Yeah, I did.
And did she refuse to leave?
Yeah, that's it. She sat on the counter, reached back, took the tissues we have sitting back here.
What's
Sat on the counter, refused to leave.
These cops just arrived. They haven't even heard the poor woman's part of the story yet, and they're already giving her a ticket for trespassing. Ridiculous.
What?
Hold on, wait. This
Hold on.
that is complimentary
No, it's
tissue.
not.
No, there's
complimentary.
not. So I.
How is not complimentary?
Because
What's her,
co-workers bring it in.
ticket for refusing
So
to
you
leave?
wasn't
When I got here, she was sitting on top of the counter.
I would have.
Is y'all gonna ask me what the problem is? Cause y'all just asking her. Who finna talk to me?
The woman just grabbed some tissues, and the dumb cashier is making a big deal out of that. This cashier was probably holding a grudge against the lady.
Can I please tell my story?
You know you're being
Can
recorded,
I
though,
please?
right?
That's fine.
Okay, just make
That's
sure.
fine. Okay, can I, you talk your story.
Yeah, she wants to trespass and come ticket for refusing to leave. Yeah.
Who get a ticket? Yeah, wow.
You gotta stay here, man.
Y'all talk to the Hold on, wait, don't touch
One,
me.
you're not free to leave. 2, you're gonna listen. 3, you're just gonna shut up.
Okay,
sit there.
hold on, wait,
All right.
because 1, you didn't even ask me what the issue was. You just asked her. You
Well,
didn't ask
You
me.
just told me that because that guy dropped his eye, so you know
Yes.
you can come here Grab another one. And just
I
walk
know.
away from me.
I used to work here. How you finna
Okay,
tell
well,
me?
They kept interrupting the lady and were not listening to her at all. These officers should not be in the force. They just believed what they heard first and refused to look into the matter any further.
You know you gotta pay, right?
What you? Yes, I know that. That's what I'm saying. And I told her she don't even like
No, you
me.
didn't pay, obviously.
She been not liking me. We
Okay,
been
well,
having
that's not
issues.
my
She just
problem.
don't like
That's
me.
not my problem.
What you mean that's not your problem?
So you're gonna get
No,
trespassed.
no, trespass. She didn't even ask me to leave. She asked me to leave when y'all got
If you
here.
come back here, you're gonna get arrested.
How if I work here? So what you finna say?
The officer said it's not his problem, but someone ought to remind him of his duties as an officer of the law.
She work here?
They'll fire you then.
Who?
I guess. Well, obviously.
Who gonna fire me?
Right?
I work here.
Alright,
Ain't no
crazy.
firing me.
I never seen you here, though, but whatever.
I just moved here. How you? Where you gonna see me at?
Just listen. That's all. That's
Where
what
you
happened,
gonna?
right?
No, you didn't ask me. You didn't ask me.
Well,
So
you're
I'm
not the victim here. You're not the victim here.
Who the
so-
victim?
Oh, she is in the business.
She absolutely was the victim here. They all just decided to gang up on her and disrespect her for no apparent reason.
So you're not the victim.
Watch out.
Come on. You wanna get a handcuff?
Hey.
Hey, stop it.
Hey, what is y'all doing? Stop grabbing on me.
Oh, really? No, that's gonna be a felony. I saw you smack him in the face. I saw you smack him. You're gonna get tased. Are you gonna cooperate or what? I'm a smash.
Let me go. I'm leaving. Oh, what are you doing? Bro, what are you grabbing on me? Bro, what are y'all doing? For real, I'm just kill y'all.
Stop moving.
Okay, can you let me go?
No, you're under arrest.
Of course she's gonna smack him. He was touching a woman without her consent. How could he even dare to make such an advance in public?
No, it's a big fat chubby because you work out here every Thursday. Hold on.
Let's go.
Hold on. Where's my shoe?
We'll get out right
That's
now.
right here.
Come on, we'll get your feet. Come on.
You got it right on or what?
Come on, this way.
Bro, I'm not going in there.
You know what? You're gonna get charged more charges if you keep on playing games like this.
He uses the word charge so casually. He's just threatening her with charges to get his way. Absolutely insane.
You didn't even let me talk
Yeah,
to you.
we will talk inside the squad. Come on.
There's your
Let's
shoe.
go.
Why are we
Here,
talking in
put
the
your shoe on.
squad?
Put it on.
Because
You didn't even let me talk to you. Like, what's up? Y'all so bogus just because she called y'all. Like, what? He didn't even ask me. Who finna ask me?
you want yours or mine?
I need some right here first.
So you're going inside this
Hold
car.
on, I need to breathe. I need some air. Look, can I just get some air?
Yeah, take a breath. Go ahead.
Okay. Excuse me.
Sadly, they arrested her and took her away in the patrol car. Even though they arrested her, it doesn't change the fact that she schooled them, and their embarrassment is on the internet for everyone to watch and make fun of. Next up, we had another arrogant cop trying to abuse her authority, but she got absolutely dominated by the civilian. She should have never chosen to mess with her.
That's fine, but you're still going to have to provide your documentation because you're going to be arrested for it.
On November 21st, 2023, Michelle Allen Gregory attended a New Haven board meeting in Oswego, New York. She made a simple inquiry, but the response she received from Town Supervisor Dan Barney will leave you stunned.
What was the first?
$6,396 is what we budgeted. We're gonna
96?
Yep, $6,396. And we're gonna increase it to $8,396.
And since decisions were made during the public hearing, there will be.
Excuse me.
I will
second
that, Mary.
Excuse me. Her, she's out. She's gone. That's the second time. She's out. Take her out
I
right
get 3
now.
warnings, I get a second warning.
No, you don't get. Out. Go.
I'm not leaving.
You gotta go.
What's the point of a meeting if you can't ask questions and discuss? It's a public conference, not a dictatorship.
I understand what you're saying, sir. I will need to be physically removed. And I understand what you're saying.
No, you have to go. I don't want to physically remove you. You have to go.
I will leave as
The
soon as the meeting's
supervisor
over.
asked you to leave. You have to leave.
Hello.
Supervisor Barney.
There you go, sir.
I
Hi, good, how are you?
We had a situation where we had a person disrupted our meeting. I issued a warning.
Okay.
And upon the second incident, asked her to leave. She refused to leave. No physical altercation or anything like that occurred. Our security officer here walked over and asked her to please leave. She refused several times. So we want her out. Now, you know, she's got some friends here that are refusing to leave too. We're done with our meeting.
The town supervisor thinks he can exercise authority wherever he wants, but he's about to be put back in his place.
You leaving, ma'am?
Yeah, I was told I had to wait because the police were being
Nobody
called
told
on
you
me.
you had to
Okay,
wait.
cool. All right, so you have friends with you too? Who's your friends? You guys? Okay, all right. Well, let's just have you guys
He
exit.
told me I had to leave a public meeting, and then he said he called the cops, so I was waiting for the police to come so I would not be physically removed.
Shut. I got you. So,
Because I'm allowed to speak at a public meeting.
okay.
The woman was confident in what she knew, and she wasn't just going to stand there and be run over.
Do you have your ID on you?
I do, and I don't have to provide it. It's a Fourth Amendment right.
No, you are being investigated, so yes, you do
For
have to
what
identify
kind
yourself.
How can you enforce the law if you don't even know it in the first place? These officers get increasingly insufferable with each move they make.
I know my rights.
You obviously don't.
Gregor would like to speak to you.
Okay.
No, she wants a supervisor, so.
Actually, we have a lady here that would love to speak to you. Hold on one second.
No, I'm requesting a supervisor be present.
The cops did not answer the most basic questions, which just goes to show how oblivious and dishonest they are.
For what am I being investigated
I'm sorry,
for?
did you not just say?
Can I
Governmental-
can I see what he's trying to charge me for?
Yeah, so what's going on is a long, drawn-out interruption that's gone on over about 2.5 years, okay?
For
Every
requesting public
meeting,
documents, which is for
Every-
an open meeting law.
every meeting. But if you speak out during a public meeting, you get a warning. And if you speak out again, we can ask you to remove yourself. And that's what we did tonight. We're very polite. There's no physical, nothing. She, Herb didn't grab onto her, nothing like that.
I am a member of the press.
So, at any
Irrelevant.
rate,
It's not irrelevant. That's
Not to
open
me.
government and freedom
It's
of
not to
information
me, because
law.
right now you're committing a violation with me.
Can I see what he's trying to
No,
charge
I'm asking
me?
you
This
for
is-
your identification.
this is
I
our
don't
rules
have
of
to
decorum.
provide it unless I'm being
Investigated.
reasonably-
Say it with.
The cops ran out of luck that day because Miss Allen knew every right she had. She wasn't going to let herself be disrespected by these stupid and illiterate officials.
Me. Investigated.
No, it's not just investigation.
Yes, it is. It's
No, ma'am,
investigation.
not.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
100% it
We'll
is.
debate that in court then.
That's fine, but you're still
Okay.
going to have to provide your documentation because you're going to be arrested for it.
Okay.
So
For
that's.
what am I being...
I'm not going to keep saying the same
Can
thing
I
over and over
please
again.
see the statute that he's trying to quote to me? The document that he's handing me,
I don't
that
even
he's
know what I
quoting
meant.
to me, can I please see that?
That's going to be separate from what I'm charging
Can
you with.
I please see what he is...
Did you see him going in there trying to get it? But I'm telling you, now you're going to have 2 different charges for it.
You can charge me with whatever you think you should.
Okay?
Okay.
All set.
So these are local policies. These are local rules of decorum, which are not a statute. These are not a legal statute.
I
These
don't
are-
think he said that this was a statute. These are just other documents he had in his hand
What
that he's
is the
explaining.
what is the legal statute for this? This is a local policy.
You're looking for the statute of obstructing governmental administration.
Whatever he's accusing me of, I would like to see that statute.
the authority falls within the town board. We have the authority to make local laws.
Yeah, I'm not-
We made one
This
earlier
is
this
not a
year.
local law.
That's
This is
it.
policy.
She
I'm not
violated it.
questioning that.
We're asking you to do it.
I'm not questioning it, to be
This
honest
is a
with you.
policy.
So, let's
Mr. Barney and the officer deluded themselves into thinking they were in the right here, but they didn't know what was coming for them.
Asking for the statute of what
I
you're
don't
saying
have
it's
the
obstruction
statute.
of justice,
You know
correct?
what? You got your phone?
Can I ask, can you,
I'm going to have you look it up. Because I don't have it on me.
what statute am I being arrested
Obstructing
for? Obstructed
governmental administration.
Can I see that statute?
Yes. Do you want to pull up your phone?
I would rather not. I think that
Well,
you
then there you go.
are supposed to provide that.
No,
Do you have a phone?
I do, but I don't use it for work use. Okay? Because then it gets subpoenaed, and I don't want that.
Okay.
But it's free information that everyone has on the internet.
Okay.
Okay? Otherwise,
Super.
you'll have to wait until we process the arrest.
Okay. Such a waste of money.
It's kind of a waste of time. All you have to do is
It is.
give us your ID.
I don't have to give you that because I have not reasonably committed a crime.
There is no reasonable suspicion that I have committed a crime.
We asked for people's identification, just simply if they need to be checked on, simply if we are just encountering them.
I don't wish to waive my Fourth Amendment right for that.
Okay.
Witnessing these cops having difficulty crafting their lies and slipping up repeatedly is extremely amusing.
Yes,
If these two don't leave, it will be trespassing.
our meeting's over. It was over at 7:20.
And I'm being detained for what? And you're expecting them to leave me? No, it's not going to happen. And you're going to arrest them both for trespassing
Yeah, they'll
for
have
staying here
trespass
with
as
me?
well. Yeah, they will.
Okay, well, you can write me a citation, and then I'll show up wherever I need to show up.
Okay, we will.
But we'll step outside, and we're all leaving together.
You're going to be coming back with us.
No, I'm not.
How do you figure? So you have identification then?
I do.
Okay, can we have that, please?
Nope.
Everyone's going to do the same thing then.
I'm not going to be investigated. What am I being investigated
Trespassing.
for? This is a public building.
Doesn't matter. He has the authority to leave.
Well, we're
Ask
going
him
to
to leave.
threatening to arrest the three of us now, so you need to call some other attorneys. This is getting bad. It's going to... Okay. All right, well, as long as everybody's aware, I'll let you guys know when I get booked. Okay, we'll sue them. All right, bye.
Matters were intensifying. The cops might have thought they'd get their way, but they would be absolutely wrong.
Arrest me then.
No, you want to speak to a supervisor, so we're going to have him come
We'll
over.
wait. We'll wait.
You stand here. Do you have like any documentation for like the past couple of meetings, or like anything that notes about any of these instances or trespass orders or anything like that? Do you have a trespass order you can issue?
A what?
A trespass order?
A trespass order?
Yeah, or anything for them?
I know it's not addressed in this rules of decorum. That'd be a good question for your supervisor.
Mm-hmm. Hey,
We do lock the doors when we leave, so yeah.
we got 3 refusing to identify themselves, so we'll probably need a statement from you
Okay.
about everything. So
The officers were hell-bent on getting Miss Allen into their custody, but she was as stiff as a rock.
There's 2 sheriffs here, and they're bringing more officers here to potentially place me under arrest for speaking out during the meeting, obstruction of something in violation of their town policies. Because they came out of executive session, and I told them that they shouldn't do it, that there needed to be minutes publicly available, because they came out of the executive session and said no decisions were made, but then voted on stuff that happened in executive session, and I said, hey, you need to have minutes available, and then someone called the cops on me to have me removed. So if I get booked, I'll give you a call, bail me out, okay? I'm gonna do this, because this is wrong. All right, I love you. Yeah. 2 other people for trespassing.
So we're waiting for Pretori to get here because she wants to speak with the supervisor. But these 3 are refusing to identify themselves and refusing to leave.
Which 3?
These 3.
Okay.
1, 2, 3?
She's being detained. Okay. She's
But you're refusing to leave because you won't leave her.
I'm not leaving her
There
by
you go.
herself.
All right,
I want
same
her
thing.
to be safe.
Same thing.
Okay.
You're refusing to leave.
She could have left.
No, I was told I was detained. She was told she had to stay.
Miss Allen was finally arrested, and the situation did not look good for her.
What I'm going to have you do is we have a nice young lady, deputy. She's going to take a statement from you.
Okay.
Make sure you mention the past that happened, the past bad experience, okay?
Yep.
Then obviously tonight you're having a meeting, what you did to create disturbance.
Twice.
You politely asked her to leave, she didn't, you asked her again, and she's trying to create chaos.
Yep.
Okay? We're going to try.
She's signed in probably every single time she's been here under a false name. She doesn't like to give her real name.
She has to give her real name tonight, or if she's not get processed and she can sit in the cell till she can come up with who she really is, and we can prove that's who she is. At this point, that's why I wanted to have her ID.
The other 2, what do we want to do with them? We asked them to leave.
And they wouldn't.
You asked them to leave?
Yeah. we asked them to leave.
They were asked.
But they would not leave because they didn't feel like she was going to be safe.
Right.
And then they wouldn't identify themselves as well.
Well, when Herb first brought them out of the meeting room, none of them were. They all said, no, we're all
And you
staying.
told them it was time to leave.
Yeah,
Meeting's over with.
Meeting's over.
You told them it's time to leave. They refused to leave. Yeah, they'll get charged for trespassing.
Were they also refusing to allow her friends to leave? These police officers were becoming more cruel by the second.
I'm going to hook them up.
All right. Who are my other ladies?
That one there on the phone.
Okay.
This one here.
And this one here?
This one here, yeah.
So right now, because they asked you to leave and you refused to, you're going to be arrested also for trespass.
We asked everyone
I asked her to leave.
Okay.
I asked her to leave, and she would not leave. And then she wouldn't identify herself.
You didn't ask me who I was.
I absolutely did.
You didn't ask me. You asked Michelle.
I asked both of you.
I did not hear you. You didn't look at me. I did not hear you.
Okay. Do you have
All
identification?
we want to do is
Yes, I
conduct
do.
our meetings in an orderly manner. I don't have a problem with Linda Williams, unless you.
Let her go. That's fine.
Whatever you want to do. I don't really care.
She's the only one that actually just started to actually cooperate.
Police that abuse their power have a common enemy: citizens that are educated on the law. All corrupt officers fear the day they bump into one of them.
You sit there and say it's confidential, and it's not. You're just making it up to protect your officers, and it's shameful. You should be. You're shameful.
Have you ever seen everyday citizens stand up and outsmart those who abuse their power? Today, we'll be looking at instances where people turn the tables on corrupt cops, embarrassing them, exposing their misconduct, and holding them accountable. In 2021, LAPD officer Jose Rivera, while off duty, would drive around late at night harassing an individual verbally, William Good. The man being harassed then filed a complaint against the officer, whose identity he wasn't even aware of at the time. The man then went to the Hollywood station, where he tried to identify the officer who was messing with him. But over there, he ran into a couple of other cops who were no better than Jose.
I can't give you that information. Why can't you? I can't. Why? I mean, you tell me why. You have to tell me a reason. Is there a specific code? Because I can't. I mean, but tell me why. I mean, that's something that can be arbitrary. It's something because you just don't feel like doing it. No, but okay, so tell me why. You say you can't. Why? Is there something written that says you can't? Okay, so this way I can't give it to you. Is there something written down that says you can't? These are the conditions. I want you to write it down and tell me exactly the reason why you can't. I mean, you have to give me an explanation. You can't just say, I can't. Well, why? I'm giving you guidance here. The guidance isn't helping. You told me to go to OIG. You don't even know what the function is of OIG. I mean, seriously. You're a sergeant. You don't even understand the function.
He was just protecting his officer without any justifiable reason. He doesn't even care for the citizen and his well-being.
So, I mean, this is basic stuff. So you tell me to go to OIG. Now you're saying you can't. Why? Why can't you? I'm telling you. I know you're telling me, but I'm asking you, why can't you? You can say you can't. Listen, you're a sergeant. You can. Why? Martinez, why? Because I can't. Why? Who said you can't? Because it's confidential, sir. These investigations are... I didn't ask for a confidential... A person harassed me on the street, a private individual, again, a private citizen, not in uniform, private citizen. So he was a private citizen. Did it against me, a private citizen. Correct. And you people, the LAPD, became aware. If this was any other situation, if this person was not an LAPD officer, if this was a person that lived across the street, you'd give that information to the complainant.
The supervisor had no real answers, and he just seemed hell-bent on making an embarrassment out of himself.
Who wants to file both a crime report and also get a restraining order? I want to file a restraining order. You're trying to tell me I'm not allowed to get that information. I have an officer that is repeatedly going out here harassing me. And I have on tape, and your own department says, yeah, he did it. And I'm not allowed to know who he is so I can get a restraining order against said off-duty officer? And if so, why? I mean, you gotta give me something. This is gonna play out really well. This is gonna look really nice, so tell me why. It'll look nice, sir. Tell me why. I mean, I'm not gonna argue with you. We're going in circles here. You're just not answering. Why? I did answer you, because I can't. That's my final. I have an off-duty officer who's out here harassing. Michael Moore says he's deeply embarrassed by this officer, but I can't know the officer's name. I can walk out here right now, this guy's going to keep on harassing me. I have him on tape, and you say I can't tell you who he is. This is the LAPD for you. You proud of this, Martinez? You proud of this for us? You proud of this? You proud of this? I mean, the way you protect these officers and the way you sit there and say it's confidential, and it's not. You're just making it up to protect your officers, and it's shameful. You should be. You're shameful. I'm not arguing. You don't argue. There isn't an argument. It's shameful. Is there anything else I can do, sir? I think we're going to have to make sure your family's ashamed.
William Good, the victim, then contacted the department chief to try to get him to reveal the evil officer's identity. Still, he refused to speak as expected and just referred to him to the Internal Affairs Captain, Captain Shaw, who also wasn't willing to speak about the matter. Months later, William spotted a truck resembling that of the officer who harassed him. However, the officer fled to avoid being identified, but William captured his license plate on camera. He identified the officer as Jose Rivera Jr. A year later, William received a complaint disposition form confirming that the complaint was sustained, though the officer's name still wasn't disclosed. Jose Rivera was eventually given a 5-day suspension. Up next, we have another set of cops who tried to cover up their mistakes behind the scenes instead of holding themselves accountable for them.
He redacted that footage on purpose to protect PC Land. They're trying to hide evidence.
In January 2024, an auditor named James was in downtown Toronto when he noticed a film crew from Global News recording the entrance of the police service, 52 Division. However, when he began filming the scene himself, he realized,
We got Global News here as well, so this should be pretty interesting. See if they kick me out, or him, or both of us, or one of us, or we'll see how it goes down. What's going on today, brother?
Let's talk about the cops at the bridge on the weekend.
Oh, okay. They're coming out for an interview?
Yeah, no, we're doing lives.
Oh, okay.
Shortly after he arrived, a vehicle pulled into the parking entrance and stopped completely. Constable McGivern emerged from the car to confront James.
This guy looks very confused. Good, how are you?
Can I ask you what you're doing?
Yeah, just taking some picture and video
Of who?
of just everything I can see. Sorry, can I get your name?
Why are you standing right here, though?
Can I get your name?
Not yet. I want to ask you what you're doing.
Okay, well, if you don't want to give me your name, I don't want to talk to you.
Are you filming cars coming and going? Is that what you're doing?
Can I get your name?
Are you filming cars coming and going from this police facility?
Can I get your name, sir?
I asked you a question first.
Do I have to answer you?
No, you don't have to answer me.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Have a good day, random guy.
Surprisingly, this brief, seemingly harmless encounter would evolve into quite a bizarre case.
Let me just show you guys something, right? Straight from this interaction right here, this guy, look what we have right here. Hey, would you look at that? It's Global News. I wonder if cops came out and asked them what they were doing. Here you got this guy, not even on duty yet, harassing me.
After James left the area, the division conspired against him and found his channel. McGivern was so upset that he told his colleagues to arrest him and claimed that he felt harassed, which was amusing since he was the one harassing James. Later in the evening, James came to the building to submit a records request, and he was approached by officers.
I think these officers want to talk to you.
Yeah. What's going on? Alright, so here's the deal. Right now you're getting placed under arrest for criminal harassment, okay?
For criminal harassment?
Yep. Okay. Yep. Do you want me to hold this or you want me to put it somewhere?
Pardon me?
Do you want me to put this somewhere?
Ski with my property.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so right now I'm arresting you for criminal harassment, okay? It's my duty to inform you of the right to retain and instruct counsel at delay. You also have the right to telephone any lawyer you wish. You also have the right to free advice from a legal aid lawyer.
These cops had been waiting for the moment to get hold of him, waiting to jump him at the right moment. But James always had his guard up.
And you're charged with criminal harassment. You're not obliged to say anything in answer to the charge, whatever you say may be given evidence. Do you understand?
Yeah, so just criminal harassment for filming in public?
I'll explain it to you in a minute.
Note that these microphones you see will play a crucial role in the case later. Just wait and see to witness just how badly this plan backfires in the officers' faces.
What's your name again?
I'm under arrest now, right?
So yeah, just so I know what we're talking
about. You do have to identify
yourself. James Hanks. Okay, James, it's Tony.
Pardon me?
Tony's my name, James. That's how people usually interact. They exchange names.
Hi,
nice to meet you, James.
Just see, make this call, see where they want.
Are you guys my arresting officers?
Yep. Hey, is Detective Higgins there? Yeah, he gave it to you and I'll get the information. Just trying to figure out where they want. If they want us to put them in a car and go from there, or... These are the
It's disgusting to see these officers manipulate the law and abuse their power to satisfy their personal grudges. If they put the same effort into actual cases, maybe they'd have a better crime-solving rate.
To go, and that's the charge. I'll see what you think it's going.
Book him? Okay. Okay,
When you have a sec,
for sure. Honestly, I have no idea. They just told us to go and arrest them. I'll give you all the information when I get it. Yeah. Just take them out to the back where the car is.
Yeah, just walk.
Yeah. And let me just run the cameras through the car real quick.
James was then taken to the motor pool to be transported, and the way the cops switch up on him there will leave you stunned.
James, right? Yeah. So the full charge is harassment by watching and besetting, okay?
So it's not criminal harassment anymore?
No, it's still under harassment. It's criminal harassment. The criminal charge, harassment by watching and besetting. Yeah.
That sounds like I was watching somebody get changed or something.
The charge would be did without lawful authority and knowing that another person, namely, it will be a victim in this situation.
One of the rare times that I've seen a victim be the one who initiated the incident.
Explicitly as to whether that person was harassed, engaged in besetting or watching the dwelling house, the place of residence, the workplace, the place of business, a place where basically a victim, namely the victim in this situation would probably be Toronto Police, and caused the said repeat name of victim to reasonably fear.
Sorry to interrupt you. Is it from filming the embassy or the police station?
It's going to be for the police station.
For the police station?
Yeah.
So in Canada, we're not allowed to film the police station? What about the Global News guy that was there filming for 2 hours constantly?
It would be for recording vehicles as they enter and exit from the parking garage.
So what if I record people coming in and out of the building?
You could technically be charged, I guess, under the same, by the wording.
That's what Global News was doing.
By the wording, if someone wished to lay that charge, I guess they could lay that charge.
Again, I'm not trying to argue with you or be combative or anything. I'm just trying to genuinely understand how in Canada, under the Canadian Charter of Rights, Section 2, Part B, we have the freedom of the press.
The officer had no good explanation for his charges or arrest whatsoever. He was spouting nonsense.
So our criminal investigative team has advised that they wish to seek this charge, so that's why you're arrested. So
that's fine. I will be holding you guys accountable.
That's fine. You can speak to a member of the investigative team too. I'm sure one of them's going to come and talk to you anyways.
Alright. This is a retaliation charge, it seems like, because it was filming.
James was then taken to the jail, and it should be noted that belongings were already bagged up.
Officer, what's James here for?
Good afternoon, staff. Again, this is James. He was observed outside of the station at the members' entrance for the cars to come in and out of the station. He was observed recording on his cell phone with a tripod and some microphones. He was charged with harassment, watching and besetting. He's being brought before you today to prevent the repetition of the offense, to ensure the safety of the victim, and it's an ongoing investigation, so just for investigative purposes as well.
Do you understand why you were arrested?
No.
The only reason they arrested him is because Constable McGivern's ego was hurt.
Okay, is it that you don't understand what harassment is, or you don't agree that you committed that offense?
I know that I was exercising my Canadian Charter rights.
Okay.
Section 2, Part B, freedom of the press.
So it's more that you don't agree with why you were arrested?
Oh, it's more like...
Because I just have to make sure you understand.
My Canadian rights.
No, I believe, I understand that you feel that whatever your actions were...
Global News was on the intersection in front of me recording as well, at the same time I was.
Okay. James, just going to remind you that you're on camera.
I'm stating it for the camera.
If you're stating it for the camera, that's fine. But this might, I'm just saying in my experience, it might be better for you to save your side of the story for your lawyer.
For sure.
He was really making a mockery out of any cop he encountered. The cops were looking like utter clowns in front of him.
So the question is, do you understand that it's harassment for watching the setting that you've been arrested for? I understand you don't agree with that.
I understand I've been unlawfully arrested for watching the setting.
Thank you. That's perfect. Now this is a question we ask everyone that comes into police custody. What is your gender and what are your pronouns? Okay. Does that mean...
I'm a man.
A man? Okay, thank you. But James, just so you know, there's a microphone here and your cell phone that won't be with your property when you're released.
If you thought this was the extent of the cops' childishness, wait till you see what they did next.
There's an additional charge, okay? I'm just going to give it to you before you go speak to your lawyer, all right? So the additional charge is going to be intimidation by watching and besetting as well, okay? So let's give you your RTC and caution again, and then when you go speak to your lawyer in a moment, or the duty counsel, you can advise them of the additional charge as well.
So how was that intimidating?
That's what they've decided upstairs. I'm just laying the charge.
Who's the complainant? Like, who did that harass?
Pardon me? There's a member of the service who's the complainant. It's all going to be, you'll be able to get that information. Okay? All right, just gonna turn my body cam off.
Why not have the phone and talk to the guy so you might come and put him in there?
I wouldn't be surprised if they made up another bogus charge or two after this as well.
You know why they made me bail myself out? So they can add these conditions. Do not engage in video, audio recording of any member known to you to be a member of the Toronto Police Service. Just like they've done to all the other auditors who've ever tried to do this in Canada. They're trying to silence us.
When James was released, he was given back all his belongings, except for his already damaged mic.
You got gloves, lighter, car keys, hat, camera with microphone. One mic damage will be seized. Stick attached. Phone okay. Conditioned battery, charger, $5 bill. Bank card, laces, clothing. Car keys removed from property bag and given to Uncle Danny at the request of Mr. Hearn at 20:51 hours.
So what did you say with the microphones are damaged?
It says camera with microphones, one mic damaged, will be seized. So if you have any questions about that, you can call the division that arrested you. I'll write it down for you on your bill. It's 52 Division.
Yeah, it wasn't damaged.
After his arrest, James set up a GoFundMe to fight the injustice he had faced. And despite it gaining serious traction, it was mysteriously shut down shortly afterward.
Why would GoFundMe do that? Well, let's be real. It was the Toronto Police Force. They're trying to silence me completely. They're trying to completely knock us auditors off the map in Canada. They'll do it to anybody who asks the questions that they don't want to answer. Or investigate stories that they don't want you to investigate. They will shut you down, just like they're trying to shut me down, but not us. They can't silence us. We are gonna fight. We are gonna take this to trial. We are gonna make new case law.
6 months later, all the charges against James were withdrawn, about which the Crown Attorney stated there is no reasonable prospect for conviction. The next month, James himself filed a notice to sue.
On January 8th, I was unlawfully arrested. This is to let you know, it's intent to sue. So essentially, you've been served.
Afterward, James even got his belongings, which the cops refused to give him. He found the broken microphone and confronted the corrupt cops about it.
Sign on the extra for me?
What's that? What, did they say that I got it?
Yep.
I want to make sure they work first. I gave them to you in working order. Okay. See, I didn't give that to you like that.
You didn't give it to me.
No, I'm just documenting it, so I can add it to the lawsuit, that's all, sir. And I'd like to make sure that they work as well. Now, there's incriminating evidence against officers on here, so they have reason to destroy it. That's ridiculous. This happened a lot. Broken equipment. People complain about it a lot,
People complain about everything.
You think I have good reason to complain or no?
I don't judge. But usually people that come here, there's a reason why they're here.
Do you know I was unlawfully arrested and my charges were withdrawn?
I have no idea what's going on.
Well, there you go, buddy. Don't judge.
I don't. That's what I said.
You're right. You did say that. My apologies. And I shouldn't be taking my frustrations out on you.
It took 11 months for his records request to be fulfilled. While he received the arrest report and dismissal, the body cam footage was apparently missing. After emailing the police, they apologized, claiming they had forgotten. When the footage arrived, several minutes were still missing. James pressed harder until they finally sent the full, unedited footage, revealing why these corrupt cops were reluctant to release it.
Alright, I need a property bag. I'm going to try to detach everything here. But,
Take your time. So, he's coming in for harassment or something?
Pay attention next, because the camera we mentioned earlier would come back to haunt these officers.
yeah, okay, serious.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not as far as I'll go. Straight. Unfortunately, this thing fell off. I cracked it.
Okay.
Oh, shoot. So it just fell off the handle here.
Alright, we can just put it in the back.
Yeah. That's my mistake here.
That's okay. Just get it back to now.
Okay.
We'll go from here.
Yeah.
The following is a call between a woman from the Toronto Police Information Privacy and Security and James. Watch as she tries to defend the cops' corrupt actions shamelessly.
There was nothing intentional, nothing was held. That's the copy. No redactions were made except for me. We're the only ones that do the redactions for body-worn camera.
Okay, so just to be clear, you accidentally didn't send me Lamb's body camera footage, and then you sent me his footage.
So the original, so the initial body-worn camera, because there were so many of them, it was just an oversight. It was not attached on purpose. It was just unintentional. It was just missed.
And then how does I just want to know, like, how does the last 5 minutes of him breaking my stuff, how did that become redacted?
I highly doubt it was unintentional, since the entire case against him up until that point was built on personal anger and grudges, and there was nothing unlawful about James's actions whatsoever.
I did that,
you
but
did,
it was
but
not,
why?
But when I did the redaction tools that we use are very sensitive. Just give you a heads up, but nothing against you. When I redacted it.
Yeah.
Hello?
I'm listening. Yeah.
Right, sorry. When I redacted it, I realized that the footage was removed and it shouldn't have been. So I just sent you the wrong copy. Redaction, we do like 3-4 copies of redactions, and we just review them over and over again. And again, it was nothing that was intentional. It's not something that was going to withhold from you. We're fully transparent. We're not going to withhold anything from you if you're entitled to that information. So
she was acting all noble and modest, defending the officer. But little did she know, James was about to absolutely annihilate the cop's credibility with what he said next.
Just wanted to give you a heads up on that.
Savannah, I'd really love to believe that you're fully transparent, but like, it just so happened that it was missing, and then it just so happened that it was redacted of him breaking my stuff. Which, by the way, Savannah, you know that he broke my stuff and never reported it? Do you know that they actually documented it, that they received it like that? Can you believe that, Savannah? That's crazy, right?
I can't speak to that, unfortunately.
Of course you can't speak on that, because you have their back. You're going to protect them, and that is why you redacted that footage, Savannah. That's my suspicion, is that you redacted that footage on purpose to protect PC Lamb. You're trying to hide evidence.
They were all teaming up against him. It's almost pathetic that these cops are so insecure that they can't take a single hit on their ego without trying to intimidate civilians back.
Why you tried to do that, I'm not sure. I do not believe that you accidentally did it twice. Okay. I do not believe that, and alright, well, yeah. So you cannot give me the audit logs. You're admitting that you did that. By the way, this call is being recorded. So you admitted that you were the one who did that, quote unquote, by accident, right? Twice.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, Savannah. You know, I don't mean to be rude or standoffish right now, but you know how dirty I've been done by the Toronto police over this matter?
There was no way it was an accident. In the police, a whole coherent organization, there are no such accidents.
And now I have the privacy officer who's supposed to have my back and have full transparency and accountability, hiding stuff from me.
Microphone here and your cell phone that won't be with your property.
It's also like a body scan kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay? Because the officer indicated that's going to be seized down.
Battery pack coming down.
Is it a battery pack?
Yeah, it's a battery pack. Just a battery pack.
Okay. You got gloves, lighter, car keys, hat, camera with microphone. One mic damage will be seized.
Right, so what did you say with the microphones are damaged? I gave them to you in working order. See, I didn't give that to you like that.
After reviewing the footage and seeing that an officer had indeed destroyed the camera, James contacted his supervisor to see whether they'd tell the truth now or would still lie.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. So I understand that you had a bit of an issue with some of your property?
Yeah, I just wanted to know what happened to it, or what.
Okay.
They just told me to call for an explanation.
Okay, I'm just looking here. Okay. Yeah, I did find that one. So what are you inquiring about exactly here?
Oh, one of my microphones was the glass on it was shattered. So I'm just wondering if you guys, when you took it in, was it already smashed or did it smash by accident? So I just wanted to know.
So do you have it?
The mic, yeah.
Do you have the microphone or no?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So according to the notes here, It said a camera with microphones, one mic damaged. It was seized originally.
Okay.
Did they give it back to you?
Yeah, I got it back.
Yeah, you got it back. So I guess when it was seized, it was already damaged.
Okay.
That's what the note says here.
That's what the note says. So it was okay. So when you guys received it, it was already broken.
Yeah, that's what the note says here.
The response he got was absolutely and utterly ridiculous. These cops had shown absolutely no interest in cooperating with James, and now they were going to pay the price.
52 division, correct?
52, yeah. Yeah, this is like the note that the booking officer put in when I guess you were booked in, so he noted that it was damaged.
Okay, can you just read the note, because quotes is verbatim?
No, it says camera with microphones. That's what was in your property. One mic damaged will be seized.
Okay, and there was no note of any officer smashing my microphone in the lobby there?
No.
Okay, alright, great, thank you. Have a nice day.
Okay, sir. Take care.
Bye.
James's lawsuit is still ongoing and hasn't reached a conclusion or a verdict yet. The blatant ignorance of these cops was absolutely diabolical. However, this next cop showcased just how corrupt he was while pressurizing this juvenile and his family.
Yeah. When is the court date?
There's no court date, no charges, this one's signed.
On 28 September 2024, Sergeant Cole of the New Jersey Police Department sent officers to meet a boy and his mother, and the reason for this confrontation was hilarious.
Hey, how you doing? I'm here for Linda Sanchez in regards to her son, Sofredo. Hey, Miss Sanchez. Hey, how you doing? I'm here for Sofredo.
What for?
He's getting a station house adjustment for what happened on Saturday. It's pretty much in lieu of criminal charges. Dude.
Everything seems fine right now, but just wait and hear what this officer has to say next.
Service program. And once he's completed with that, and writing an apology letter to Sergeant Cole.
Yeah, we don't know. When is the court date?
There's no court date, no charges, this one's signed.
There's no apology letter. I know community service.
Okay.
There'll be a lawyer involved in it.
Okay, so.
Sergeant Cole should be apologizing to him.
Okay.
He went in the house without a warrant. Arrested my son. My son is not a criminal.
You put him in custody. He didn't arrest him.
Well, and he's charging him with...
No, I'm not right now. He's not.
Okay.
I'm not.
So,
that's what I'm saying.
My son has scratches from handcuffs.
I understand.
My son is not a criminal. So.
Okay.
The sergeant was attempting to force an apology out of the boy, but luckily both he and his mother were fully aware of their rights and the police's dirty tactics and were adamant about not being bullied.
Oh, from right now, he's not doing any of this. I'm letting you know right now.
Okay. Well, yeah,
no apology letter. I'm sorry.
It's in lieu of criminal charges. That's what we do.
Well, we can take it to court if he decides that he wants to consider charges because he is not getting an apology from me or my son.
Okay.
My son did nothing wrong.
We live in a sad reality where bad cops really outweigh the good cops of this world. The greatest rewarding satisfaction is seeing these citizens take one for the team by exposing the officers.
I saw you coming around this side.
Yeah, there's a sidewalk, right? That's where I was walking.
Cops often think the badge gives them some sort of immunity, but they find out that it's the complete opposite. Then they're verbally attacked by educated citizens. Today, we'll look at moments where things took a dramatic turn as dirty cops faced the wrath of angry citizens. On August 18, 2024, Sean, the owner of the Long Island Audit YouTube channel, uploaded a video of him practicing his First Amendment rights at the Mercer County Correctional Facility. But his run-in with an obstinate lieutenant on the scene complicated everything.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look around the facility here. So this correctional officer here has been on the phone, just following me around, watching me. He could just come up to me and ask me what I'm doing. I'll tell him I'm taking some pictures in public. Not a big deal, exercising my First Amendment right. But he wants to be all cloak and dagger about it. So we have another friendly reminder that the government's always watching us.
The cop could get a better view up close, but he just wanted to be unnoticed, which he failed at.
Hey, how are you? Who are you, sir?
Lieutenant, you're at the jail.
I know where I am. Lieutenant?
Yep.
Lieutenant what?
Lieutenant Hood.
Lieutenant Hood? Hi, nice to meet you. My name is Sean.
Why are you walking around the building here?
I'm just taking some pictures.
But you can't go around outside of the jail.
Oh, I'm not going into any restricted areas or anything, Lieutenant. I'm just taking a look around the publicly accessible areas.
Yeah, I saw you coming around this side.
Yeah. There's a sidewalk, right? That's where I was walking.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
That lieutenant had no good argument. All Sean was doing was roaming around in the open.
All right, let's take a look around the other side. Continue to walk on the sidewalk. We have the lieutenant and another correctional officer here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so it looks like law enforcement has arrived. I'm not exactly sure if they're here for us. Actually, now I'm pretty sure that they are here to speak with us.
Hey, partner.
Hey, how are you, sir?
What's going on? Are you here for some reason? Because the jail's concerned.
Oh, I spoke to the lieutenant.
Oh, okay.
Sean, throughout this entire video, will be owning the law enforcement officers. So stay tuned because you do not want to miss this.
Yeah, I see. He came out and I spoke to the lieutenant.
What'd he say?
He said if I was gonna go, I couldn't go around the facility here, and I told him I didn't. I was just walking in the publicly accessible areas. You mind if I get your name and badge number, sir?
12086. My name's right there.
Right there.
If you
Okay.
can get it on your camera.
Okay, great.
You're being filmed visually and audibly as well.
Okay.
Just letting you know. I have to let you know.
Okay.
So,
a lot of officers' name right there.
What's that?
A lot of officers' name right there.
A lot of officers' name right here.
Right here. Yeah.
Yeah, we put ours here.
Okay.
Others,
Great.
I don't know
Yeah.
where they put theirs, but so you talked to the lieutenant.
Yeah.
Sean wasn't doing anything wrong, but these cops, like many other cops, want to create a scene out of nothing.
My name's Sean. I'm working on a story for this correctional facility, and I'm just taking pictures of the grounds, getting some B-roll footage.
Okay.
Of
Did
the
he
publicly
say it was
accessible areas.
okay?
He didn't. He said I couldn't go around
So,
the
so
correctional
here's the deal. I'm just being straightforward.
Yeah, sure,
So
sure.
obviously, I'm here for a reason. I didn't just show up
Right.
randomly and
Right,
make contact with you. And but the jail called. They said that you were walking around near the fences, and I can confirm that with the complaint in the jail, and then filming inside vehicles.
Right. So I was filming the correctional vehicles there.
Yeah.
The ones belonging to the state.
Okay.
Because, like I said, I'm working on a story.
I got
So
you.
I was filming those vehicles. I wasn't filming any personal vehicles, but
Okay.
I mean, filming personal vehicles isn't
So
even
is
a
this for like
crime.
just like a? No, I never said it was, but
Right.
you know.
But I
this-
wasn't doing that, just so you know.
This is, and I'll take your word for it. You have to understand this is a jail, and I'm not saying this is suspicious. Obviously, I'm talking with you and getting you
Right.
an understanding and everything.
Right.
You're doing for like a project?
Yeah. So I'm just working on a personal project of mine, and about the jail.
Yeah.
And I received some complaints about the jail.
The officer said it was a jail, like it made a difference. He was out on public property and there was nothing illegal about him filming.
Some information that I was just wanted to get some B-roll footage here, take pictures in the publicly accessible areas.
Okay.
You know, like I said, the first person that came out to me and speak to me was the lieutenant. I was right around that corner of the.
About how long ago was it?
Probably about, I would say like 5-10 minutes ago,
right.
between there.
And he said you're okay as long as.
So he didn't tell me. It was a very short conversation. He said you can't be walking around the jail.
Okay.
And
you
meant-
weren't doing that, right?
No, and and I said I was walking on the sidewalk, so right here to where
Yeah.
there's a front door, and he was like, okay,
Yeah.
and then he kind of just walked away.
And
I guess that's when they called you just to have you handle it, because
We'll-
I don't know if
we'll
they're not
assume.
law enforcement.
The lieutenant outside the prison had a considerably different attitude than the state trooper, who had been quite understanding and tolerant of the man's circumstances.
So it looks like the trooper is on the phone. We'll wait for him to get off. Hopefully he does the right thing, honors his oath to the United States Constitution, and things don't get escalated. Let's see if we can get this officer's name and badge number. Hopefully his name's not right here too. I'm gonna keep getting confused.
All right, I'll talk to him. He's being cool. He's being fine. I don't suspect, he's just doing that. So I'll let him know.
Hey trooper, how are you?
All right, how are you?
Hey, good. Mind if I get your name and badge number?
Trooper Seconder 12793.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
You good with that?
My name is Sean, by the way.
Hi, Sean.
Okay. I'll just let him know. All right. Thanks, LT. All right. Bye-bye. All right. The LT says he asked you to leave.
It's on
you
camera.
said he didn't. That's fine. I'm not. Let me finish.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm
Before we jump
just.
to conclusions.
No, one word, 2 words on camera. That's it.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, it is what it is. But he's fine with you being here. I talked to him about it. He's fine. He's just asked for one thing. He said just don't go out into that area or out on the grass.
Yeah, no restricted areas. Yeah, no restricted areas.
I said you're giving no problems. I don't expect you to do anything bad. You're here for filming for...
As shown earlier in the video, the lieutenant chose to lie on camera rather than advise the man to leave, demonstrating how readily such police officers can get away with lying.
Oh man, ladies and gentlemen, so apparently the lieutenant, do you see why it's important to always record public servants, especially law enforcement and correctional officers? Because they will lie. He never once told me to leave the property.
The man once again shut down the lieutenant for his lies, emphasizing the importance of recording, as he would have no evidence in his favor if he had not. This next case involves another set of cops who tried to pressure the citizen, but he stood tall and absolutely bossed them around.
I don't have to answer any of your questions.
At this time you do, because you're a suspect.
Actually,
you're a suspect
I have a Fifth Amendment right.
On September 6, 2024, Officer Delgadio of the Rigby City Police Department responded to a call from a woman named Barbara who called the police because another citizen, Braden, took a photo of her when he passed her home. The cops tried their best to force their way on Braden, but unfortunately for them, he was a citizen who knew the law.
Do we have a safety backup, please? I gave them a call now. See if I can have one over there, okay?
10-4, thank you. Hey, Del.
Yep.
Hi.
So, I've been being gang stalked.
Okay.
Okay? Started with that house right there.
I'm gonna get out of this house. Concerned about this house?
No, it's... So, Chief gave my personal information about 18 months ago.
Okay.
Okay? The guy came over and started chewing me out because I drove for a female situation 1 block to the dollar store. Okay?
Okay.
I trespassed him with craning.
Okay.
Okay? He has been going to different places and starting stuff anywhere he can. Like catching rabbits he thinks are mine because I feed stray animals. Okay? That includes cats. It includes squirrels. I don't care. They're hungry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Apparently, he's been going around the neighborhood showing off the animals he's catching that he thinks are mine. The guy has a sick obsession with me. I'm going to go get a RO, I think.
The man had very good reasons for everything he'd been doing. Later on in the video, you'll see him explaining.
Now this guy down here, he's been driving up and down my street. He's one of his friends. And
is he driving or is he on that bike?
He's on that bike. And he's like taking pictures of me going, I'm going to post it on social media.
Okay.
So we have another stalker. But this guy right here, if he intends to dox me in the neighborhood I live in, or the town I live in, that's illegal. So, its intent is to cause emotional distress.
Mm-hmm.
I'm already living next to asshole 1, and asshole 2, and asshole 3.
The woman, in reality, was just assuming the worst. The man's intent was to cause emotional distress, and so far, it was working.
Okay.
So I need you, pretty please, to go down there. I think he might have dumped that bike and bailed, because I think he thought I was kidding when I said I'm going to call the cops.
Yeah, well, I see someone on the corner over there with the bike.
Okay, well, that's him.
Sitting on the bike.
And he's laughing.
He has like man bun?
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah. Advise ISP to make contact with the male, and I'll head over and make contact with him.
Is he still there?
Yeah, he's over there.
I'm sure he's going to start some shit.
Maybe.
The officers then inquired Braden, the man the woman was referring to, about his actions. They would just be biased because they'd heard the woman's side of the story.
Hi. What's up? What are we up to?
Just out and about.
Okay. Did you pass by that residence over there?
Of course, I have a friend that lives down there.
Okay. Who's your friend?
I don't have to answer any of your questions.
At this time you do, because you're a suspect.
Actually,
you're a suspect
I have a Fifth Amendment right.
That's not a Fifth Amendment right.
To not to answer questions to cops?
Yeah.
Are
you're not under arrest.
You actually believe that, don't you?
Huh?
You actually believe that, don't you?
Okay.
I legally do not have to answer any of your questions, sir.
Well, at this point, you're detained, so you do. Because you're a suspect of a stalking.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm just simply asking questions, and we'll go from there. You will go about your day, I'll go about my day.
Okay.
Okay. Who's your friend that was over there?
I plead the fifth.
Plead the fifth. Okay. What's your name?
I plead the fifth.
Braden was absolutely right here, and the officer was wrong. The Fifth Amendment indeed does support Braden's claim that he didn't have to answer the officer's questions.
So you do have to identify yourself when
Not
being
correct.
requested. Okay. That you do have to.
Absent reasonable suspicion, or reasonable articulable suspicion.
So he does have reasonable articulable suspicion, right?
Mhm.
Is there a restraining order against him, or anything like that?
No, she wants to get one.
Oh, she
so
wants
that's
to
why
get
she
one?
wants to get him identified so she can go to the
Okay.
courthouse and
Okay.
go about that. So she's not even going to press charges. She just wants to get a protection order. That's it.
She can't press charges. I didn't do anything.
Can she come down here and identify him?
She identified him from over there.
Oh, well, there you go.
She described a man bun, guy on a bike.
Okay. Riding on a public street.
Yeah.
Both of the officers were trying to pile pressure on Braden, but he handled it with ease.
Taking pictures.
Okay.
I'm still not seeing anything illegal there.
So you were taking pictures? Is that what you said?
Sure.
Of her?
I needed to post on a public page on Facebook.
Well, where was she when you took the pictures?
On her property.
Then she has reasonable expectation of privacy.
No, she doesn't.
Where was she at on her property?
In front of her front door. In plain view.
In plain view? So, I just want to make sure I understand, right? Okay. You seem like a savvy guy. Don't want to pull anything fast over you. Okay?
Sure.
I make a mistake, you call me out on it. Good. Right? Because I don't want my constitutional rights infringed upon either. Of
course.
I'm riding uniform.
Right.
Braden finally revealed why he needed to take the pictures, and it will surely leave you in awe.
Or on her property, and you felt the urge to take pictures of her.
I've been meaning to for a while.
Okay.
So I'm trying to blacklist her.
You're trying to blacklist her?
From a certain industry. Yeah.
Okay. So, and then you want to post those pictures?
Of course.
Okay. And what's the intent of posting those pictures?
Blacklisting.
Blacklisting. And what does she need to be blacklisted from?
Purchasing rabbits.
Purchasing rabbits?
Yes.
Okay. So, are you thinking like a community page like
yes.
Craigslist or something like that,
something
or
like
Facebook Marketplace?
Something like that.
Okay, cool. So your intent is to take pictures of her, say, everybody, don't let this lady buy rabbits from you. Is she harming them in any way?
Not directly.
Okay.
Domestic rabbits are not meant to be roaming free.
Oh, so she's taking like a pet and then like setting it free?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, all right.
So, let's see, when was it? Not within like last 2-ish weeks. I've been helping basically everybody on the street.
That's quite a few rabbits he caught. Those rabbits not only were roaming around free and dangerous for them, but they could have caused fatal accidents on the road if they just came in front of traffic, for example.
A mixture between, I think some had silver fox, had the looks of silver fox. Some were obviously Flemish giant.
Okay.
Some had the look like they had Rex mixed in there.
Okay. So, how'd you find out that she was doing all this?
Facebook.
Oh, really? So she's like...
It's been a huge problem for 3 years.
No kidding. Okay. Is this your first time taking pictures of her?
Yeah.
Okay. First time passing by her house?
Not passing by her house, because I go to my friends.
Okay. I'm just going to take your word for it that you got a friend over there.
Okay.
She wants a restraining order against you.
Okay.
She's already identified you. Does she know your name?
No.
Okay. So, you're not under arrest. Like he said.
This man was right in his actions. The woman, like an absolute Karen, was complaining about multiple people. In reality, she was the issue.
They said that. So, but Anyway, that's what we're here for. When I pulled up, what were you doing here?
I assumed you guys would like to speak with me.
Okay.
And so I figured I would give you the courtesy.
I'll do that.
I have nothing against law enforcement. The only time I have anything against law enforcement is if you violate rights or break laws yourself.
I'm down with that.
Yeah.
I'm not a thin blue line guy. If a cop does something, like, I have no problem arresting. One time my sergeant actually said, "Would you like to go arrest a marshal? He's dealing drugs out of his patrol vehicle." And I was like, "Send me at him."
Braden dealt with the cops brilliantly. With patience and logic, he won them over on his side.
I got no problem doing any of that. None at all. So I don't want to infringe upon your rights. I do, and I'll go double check this, but the reasonable suspicion of you stalking is that you are going there taking pictures of her while she's on her property outside her door. So that's the reasonable articulable suspicion of possible stalking. There's suspicion that you are stalking her when you do that. Do you know what I mean?
That's fair, but you said possible, so that...
Right, but that's the reasonable suspicion, right? It's reasonable. I believe, so like, if I'm at a bank and I see a guy take out a rifle and sling it over his shoulder, not a violation of any law. He can do that. If he puts on a mask, still not a violation of any law.
For sure.
However, I can articulate that this guy's probably going to go do something crazy in that bank, and I'm going to intercept him. And I'm going to talk to him. I will detain him until I can figure out whether or not.
For sure.
So that is where we're at with the reasonable suspicion. You did everything right, public roadway, all that stuff, but then you took pictures of her.
For sure.
Trooper Roberts argued that the officers had reasonable suspicion to believe that Braden had been stalking according to Barbara's allegations. However, Braden would have to have committed non-consensual acts for it to be stalking of second degree. As Barbara had also said, this was only the first time he'd committed such an act, so the officer did not actually have reasonable suspicion to detain Braden for a stalking offense.
How many pictures did you take?
One. Well,
was it like a burst?
Technically, it was a video because I was riding past and I didn't want to stop.
Okay. Were you just like?
Pretty much.
Like this?
Yes.
Did she say anything to you?
She asked if she wanted me to pose, or if I wanted her to pose.
Pose?
Pose. So, essentially, she was accepting the photos. So. So that kind of dispels that.
Yeah, no, see, this is why we have these conversations, man, because it helps us to know exactly what we need.
For sure.
Let me go look up a couple codes real quick to make sure that I'm squared away on everything.
So she consented to the photos and then made a complaint to the police. What a hypocrite.
If I find a code, though, that says that based upon reasonable articulable suspicion, you have to identify yourself for these purposes, I'll explain that whole entire code to you.
Okay.
And then, but yeah, I'm gonna leave this up to the man.
Okay.
So I'll be right back. Okay.
If you do decide to pursue it, I would like a supervisor, please.
I don't have a supervisor. I'm sure you do. I don't.
Are you like are you a supervisor?
No, I'm the only unit on for the city. So yeah, so don't think that I'm like trying to harass or anything. I'm just trying to, get everything squared away and stuff like that. So
I really would hate to have to file a lawsuit over Fourth Amendment.
Yeah.
I really would. That's not what I'm here on this street to do.
For sure. And that's why we have the discussion.
For sure.
When we're on the same page now, right?
For
because I come over here hearing her side, but you also have a side to the story.
For sure.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to get everything together and
for sure
from there. So you can go ahead and check that out, and then I'll talk to my friend real quick.
The officers then gave the self-entitled Karen a call.
Because I don't think that she wants to press any charges or anything like that. The only comment that she made is that she wanted to get a protection order against him.
She's gonna have to go to court for that, though.
For what? For the protection order? Yeah, she has to go to court and fill it out and state why she wants to get the protection order filled out against him.
Hello?
Hi, Barbara. This is Trooper Roberts from the State Police. How are you?
Okay, how are you?
I'm doing all right. Hey, I was wondering if you knew the name of that individual.
I do not. I think he's Brenda.
Well, do you have any messages with him at all? Have you been in communication with him?
I don't know.
You don't know if you've spoken to him like via Facebook Messenger, text? What's that? You don't know if you've spoken to him like through Messenger or text message or anything like that?
Nope, I have no idea.
How does she not know if she's been in contact with him? What kind of answer is that? Does she have dementia?
Hi, dude. You said you have messages with her?
I do.
Okay, so...
She initiated it.
Okay, that's fine. She says that she doesn't know if she does. I looked at codes. You know, a lot of it's, you know, if I pull somebody over, driver,
Of course,
they have
yes.
to. You're a pedestrian. It's a different story.
Yeah, and Idaho does not have an official stop and ID law.
They don't. No, they don't.
So.
My reasonable suspicion at this point is just dispelled.
Okay.
I think, honestly, you went over there. Before it wasn't, dude. I'm going to be honest, okay?
Right.
Before it wasn't.
And I do apologize if I came off as like a hard for...
You're fine, dude. You're fine.
Barbara was on to nothing, and as a result, the whole situation had no dramatic ending. Braden was spectacular in dealing with the cops, and they just couldn't get him in any way. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and comment down below with your thoughts. And if you liked this video, you'll love this next one where these entitled Karens get humbled by cops.
You know what? You are the piece of dirt that I wouldn't on if you were on fire.